Shit.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وعلينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبو القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وشفعنا أنفسنا وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحاب البر الميامين الحمد لله جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية سيدي مولاي علي بن أبي طالب عليه السلام
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
My elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Today my talk is as usual is regarding meditation. But today is the another form of meditation which I would like to present yourself. As you see on the screen, we have got a photo of Muhammad Taqi, Allama Muhammad Taqi Bajat, a very profound scholar and a mystic. A mystic is a person who, after studying, becomes a very high category alim, And Muhammad Taqi Bajat, for example, he was born in 1916 and he died recently, 2009, at least age of 92 years old. A great mystic. Now, I want to point out only one thing, that we have to reflect one thing. He maybe at least 70 years of his studying, In that studying, there was a lot of meditation. The meditation is an inheritance of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Right from Prophet Muhammad to Imam Zaman alayhi salam.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
One example only, because everybody has got his own different type of examples. Like Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, he was Sayyidu Sajidin, he was prostrating in a not sense of manner. He was praying already, but there was something else apart from this. Like for example, Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam. He was in the jail most of the time, the prison. And in that prison he was meditating. He was reflecting, he was meditating all the time. So I would like to point out now that if Muhammad Taqi Bajat in his lifetime, 70 years of preaching, this, how about Imam Zamana? 1,300 and something years of preaching. Just we should reflect on this point, that how long Imam Zamana, 1,000 day and night, day to day, he is in his prayers, preaching. And so my point is this, that You know, and then the world which we are living in, with Imam Zamana insight, how our world we are polluting. Now today my talk is regarding pollution. There is a girl by the name of Greta Thunberg. Every year in the world, once they take a summit, like just recently, this year, there was a summit in Spain regarding pollution, carbon dioxide emission. Now this, everybody, 135 countries attended that. But unfortunately, the summit failed. 135 countries could not agree to less the carbon dioxide emission. And that's why it failed. Now this girl, Greta Thunberg, is a Swedish girl. She is a climate change protester, She is protesting. I want to take note because she's making a speech at this summit in Madrid, Spain, very recently. And it's very pity to know this. The world doesn't agree to less the emission carbon. Now I would like to point out there is a pollution. This is COP25 in Madrid. Can you learn?
I didn't speak to anyone unless I really had to. But then I found a reason to speak. Since then, I've given many speeches and learned that when you talk in public, you should start with something personal or emotional to get everyone's attention. Say things like, our house is on fire, I want you to panic, or how dare you. But today I will not do that. Because then those phrases are all that people focus on. They don't remember the facts, the very reason why I say those things in the first place. We no longer have time to leave out the science. Without seeing the full picture, we will not solve this crisis. Finding holistic solutions is what the COP should be all about. But instead, it seems to have turned into some kind of opportunity for countries to negotiate loopholes.
You see, now I would like to point out, this is carbon emission. She was talking about carbon emission. Now I would like to present you that there are 100 types of pollution. 100 types of pollution. There is air pollution, there is a sea pollution, a river pollution, and then there is air pollution. The worst pollution we are experiencing at this moment is plastic pollution. Plastic pollution, This is the most deadliest, I would say, deadliest and killer of this world.
The amount of solid plastic waste produced since the 1950s that has not been burned or recycled is around 4.9 billion tonnes. This could all have been dumped into a 70-metre deep landfill the size of Manhattan. While much of it has indeed ended up in landfill around the world, far too much of it has found its way into the natural environment, with around 10 million tonnes a year ending up in the ocean. Over half of all plastic is used just once and then thrown away, taking hundreds of years to decompose. Apart from the perception that plastic waste is ugly and unnatural, it has also been known to harm marine animals, and exposed to salt water and sunlight, it can fragment into microplastics, which some people fear can poison sea life and humans who subsequently consume it. But is it as big an environmental problem as the plastic panic across the rich world suggests? Plastics account for just 10% of the 1.3 billion tonnes of waste produced globally every year. Air pollution is blamed for 7 million deaths per year worldwide. Ocean acidification, the result of man-made carbon dioxide emissions, is disastrous for coral reefs and many other forms of sea life. In any case, efforts are being made to improve the situation, or at least lessen the impact of plastic. In 2008, Rwanda introduced strict laws banning plastic bags, and many countries have since followed with similar initiatives. In December 2017, 193 countries committed to a UN plan to stop plastic waste entering the ocean. To eliminate plastic waste reaching the natural environment, it must first be collected. In developed countries, virtually all of it is. But 5 countries in Asia are dumping more plastic into the oceans than the rest of the world combined. If the world wants to tackle plastic pollution, then it should first concentrate its efforts on the biggest culprits in Southeast Asia. Until it does, all other efforts will be a drop in the ocean.
Now you can see how the plastic is killing us in the mass killing. Now I will show you the clip which are very, I will tell you an incident which will reflect. It's a silly type of incident, but in fact it's a fact. Husband and wife is sitting in the sitting room watching the TV, and suddenly an ad came of 76 inches screen, Samsung screen, and the wife told the husband that you love me. He said, yes, I love you. He said, 100%. He said, yeah, 100%. Why are you asking me? He said, I want this TV 76 inches. And the room, the sitting room, was for 10 by 10. And he told him that our room is small, the screen is big, it's not good, and this is Then she threw this what do you call this? Remote control, and she was angry. She said, okay, don't get angry. At the same time, from PC World, he ordered one. So next morning, this thing came up. Now, my point is here where I start now. What they did, in the morning, the delivery came of this TV screen, 76 inches, and they removed the old one, and she put it outside the house. These pickups, these Romanians pickup, they come and collect all the fridges, which is outside. So this Romanian picked up the fridge, and he went in his yard to test whether it was working or not. It was working. Then they take it straight away to the dealer. There are people around us who are buying these old fridges, old TVs, and they put it for sale. And they've got a big yard, and in the back of the yard, they've got already people from Africa. Europe is a big market. From Africa, they come and buy these fridges, TVs, computers, all these gadgets. And then they fill it in the container and send it to Africa or Asia. So this TV traveled from Europe to Africa. Now in Africa, what happens? This is Ghana.
This is Agbogbloshie, a suburb of Accra, the capital of Ghana. But local residents have given it a nickname, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's the home of the biggest electronic waste dump and is a livelihood for many. First it feeds them, then it kills them.
First it feeds them.
This is one of the most
then it
polluted
kills them.
areas with toxins and toxic metals on the African continent.
This is all electronic waste. And the journalist asked a boy. He said, I work for a day, I get $2, and at night, I feel these are orphan boys, they've got nowhere to go except to work like this. And here you can see now they are burning this wire.
America has spent his entire
Get some
childhood
copper.
at the dump site. He's never been to school, so he can't go elsewhere. For him, this job is the only way to sustain himself.
I'm training him here 40 years. Say, you will put on Papa Demba. No cope, Massy. Or cope, Mass, no down one, and bar and barrel. No catcher say, me, Jumana, a yaka crow, Baba, and quick food.
Ghanaian laws for
This is, we people in the West are polluting African and Asian countries with these gadgets. My advice is that we should understand where we dispose our gadgets like this, because we must be involved in these things. It is very simple. It is very simple to say a man coming from Middle East or anywhere, from Africa, coming to buy arms to destroy the people there, It's same like as I export a gadget to Africa to kill these boys. So what should I do with this, with these things? I should be very careful with these things, environment. I shouldn't be ignorant, because this is going to be answerable tomorrow. It is very, very important.
What should we do? What should we do with the game?
Yes, now this is a very good question. What we should do? Here, there are two places which I've seen. It's Rehmaullah, French companies. One is in King Norton, the other one is in the Warwick Road. There are these people. These people are really recycling it. I would advise you to take all your plastics to this place and dispose it there. Don't leave it outside the door. They will collect and they will sell it again. And it is much better than if you destroy them. Break them up so that they are out of work, then the dealer will not buy it. And especially the fridges, they are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So I would advise you to dispose all your plastic materials very carefully, and be sure to make sure from now on to use very less in the household. You know, charity becomes at home. Use as much as little. Don't buy, if you go to the supermarket, don't buy these things. Don't buy any extra, just we are careless about these things. We are very much careless about these things. And we Shias, waiting for Imam Zaman to come here in this pollution, when he will arrive, he is a universal player. Don't think that he is just coming in Makkah and to fight with Sufism. No. This concept is international. And if when he comes, don't be surprised that this Greta Thunberg will be beside him. Don't be surprised. This girl of 16 years old fighting for climate change. 135 countries could not agree. They don't want to raise the carbon dioxide. They're killing. This is a killing machine. The most deadliest ever, these things. Now I will show you another clip, which is very worse. This is sea pollution. This is Dominican Republic. No. River pollution.
Today, we take you to the world's most...
This is river pollution.
35 million people rely on the supply of their world but it's become a toxic river of waste. Shea Road went to the island for this unreported World Classic in April 2014.
This is very interesting.
6 a.m. and I'm on the Chitterham River with Herman and his son Alec.
You can barely see the river. It's just covered in plastic. There's all kinds of rubbish here, from shoes, nappies. It's all household rubbish, stuff that people have thrown in, and then every now and then you come across something like that. Dead fish just floating.
This is a dead cow.
When was the last time you actually caught some decent fish in this river?
Nowadays, Herman and his 13-year-old son are after a different kind of catch. They're scavenging for rubbish.
Instead of now catching fish in this river, they are catching this, holding this plastic, They find it useless and they will go and sell it. This river was supplying, water to these rice fields in Indonesia. Now those rice fields
When
are
Herman started
finished.
fishing, it was easy to get a good catch.
This river is contaminated.
Since then, 60% of the fish species have been wiped out.
60% of level fishes in the species,
Fish or rubbish?
they're all wiped out.
Ikan karena banyak ikannya suka tempat ikan tuh sampah makan jarang gitu lah.
Do you think the people who throw all this rubbish...
Now you show this. There is still one more. See this river. This is totally. This is in India. This is totally filled with, there is no name of a river, it's a name of a plastic river, Total, no, even you can not see the water inside. Now my question is this: who is going to clear these things? And see these things. This is bicycles in China. In China, before, most of the bicycles, used were in China. And then the companies came, and they made the bicycles with the chip inside. So you can pick up the bicycle anywhere you like. You can go with your phone, take the number of the bike and press it, $2 you pay, the whole day they'll take the bike. Now they move in the town for $2 and they leave it anywhere else. And many companies have been closed because it was a very big business. So now these bicycles are left on the streets. So government take it and they pile it up in somewhere. Now the Chinese government said we don't know what to do with these bicycles. Massive graveyard. This is a sharing bike, The companies produce them and leave them. And then, most of the companies are closed. But there are millions of bicycles in every city. It's amazing. I never knew that it would be a waste like this, Now we are going to India, Delhi.
But it said that it is saving fuel.
Today,
Just the advertisement said that by using the bike,
Yes.
they are saving fuel.
Yes, saving fuel. But what about this waste? Where it will go? They don't know. The countries cannot find a solution.
The amount.
Now I would like to show you
Can I just quickly say something? The bicycle frames, they're metal, ain't they? They could be melted.
this. They don't want to do it.
You don't do it?
Where are they going to put it?
Oh, melt it. Melt. Make
Factory.
factory. Stuff like this.
They
They
have
need
pollution.
big oven to.
Okay.
It's not happen. No problem.
Yeah. This is Tehran, experiencing the worst smoke. This is smoke.
as air pollution continues to cast a shadow on the livelihood of the citizens. Every year, Tehran's air inversion, which occurs in the cold season, traps more than 800,000 tons of poisonous emissions that are released into the air by motorists. According to Tehran municipality, a considerable amount of toxic gases, like carbon monoxide, is created by just 10% of vehicles that still roam the streets of the capital more than 20 years after their production. Every year, Iran holds a national conference on noise and air pollution to find solutions to the problem. In the last event, Iranian officials and international experts discussed ways to diminish the dangerous effects of air pollution on the citizens.
80% of pollution in our city comes from vehicles. This is a dangerous problem, which can only be solved through cooperation of the people and the officials. We need experts to make practical decisions. Dragging politics into this issue would be of no help.
There are
So I would like to
vehicles in
wrap up my
People in
talk,
the capital and
regarding this pollution, it has reached very high level. Now in India, I don't know, the clip didn't come up, but that was a very nice to see that clip. It was in India, the mountain has reached 150 feet. And it's a massive mountain of this plastic garbage, Now, it was my understanding is this: how about all the cities like Bombay, India, America, New York? They are collecting per day 29,000 tons of garbage. 29 tons. Only if you say these people are recycling it, and this is only 15% being recycled. Now my point is the last point, that how can we accommodate Imam Zamana in this mess? In this mess. And when he comes here, he's a universal figure, not he's a Shias. No. Don't take this concept. And he will do justice. My justice point is this, that he will do justice to the boys in Ghana who are being killed by pollution. Justice will be done everywhere. Even in the communist countries, in India, everywhere, all over the world. And when he comes, who is going to remove all this mess from this world? They cannot clear a river which was producing fish and providing water to the fields. By 2050, we won't be able to breathe fresh air. Now they cannot cope up. We are at the moment as a silkworm which produces silk. It is amazing. Allah has created this silk from silkworm and the honey. These are the two best produce of Allah. Silk is very good, very expensive, and honey. And both are the larva of a mouth of an insect. Very amazing. It's the larva of a mouth of an insect. And the honey is the best, and the silk is the best. Now what happens to the silk insect moth? They say silk moth. It stays, when it's grown up, it stays in its cocoon. And then it starts to produce silk. The lifespan of this moth is 20 to 30 days. After 30 days, he himself has put inside the silk, where he dies there inside. We are doing the same thing. We are polluting ourselves. We are increasing ourselves with these plastics day by day. There is no way out. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I would request you, please, that from now on, even I'm trying very hard, everybody should try to use as much as little plastic, even at home. Even if you go for shopping, take this cloth bag, it's much better. Slowly get rid of these things and dispose them at a proper place. This is very dangerous. And I requested Gulambai to put these plastics here or table, Even a small glass, it takes nearly 20 years to get disposed. To decompose, it takes 20 years. So it's too much. So I would have requested Gulambai to put these plastics from now on. And I would, if Jamaat's people agree, if they are doing any functions or if there is a marriage, you know, they should charge them and metal, glass or hard plastic plates, you know, that can be used. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I would request for a Fatiha for all our Muslims. Al-Fatiha.